this is Patty Bennett with PattyStamps.com. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm excited to welcome you back to another video tutorial. Today I wanted to talk to you about watercoloring. My dad is a watercolor artist, and I have always admired and loved every single piece he has ever done. But I cannot draw freehand to save my life. So I resort to just doing watercolor washes as a background, and that's what you're seeing in my samples here. The backgrounds of all of these focal points are done on watercolor paper, and it's just a wash of color, and then I stamp over it. That way you don't have to see me try to draw, because that's just not a pretty sight. So I want to show you how I did these, and then I'm also going to treat you to some of my dad's paintings in this video so you can see what amazing work he does. So the reason that all of these samples have a tall, skinny focal point on watercolor paper is that I was doing some projects with our Stampin' Up! Watercolor paper, and that comes in a pack like this. And the sheets are actually 6 inches by 9 inches. You get 5 pieces of watercolor paper. And I had done some other projects, and I ended up with a whole bunch of strips. And they were sitting on my desk, and I thought, okay, I have to make something with these because I'm not going to waste them. So that's why all of these pieces, as you can see, are just tall and skinny. And I watercolored on the strips and then cut them up and stamped on them. So let me show you how I did that. So the basic supplies that you're going to need are a clear acrylic block. I'm using a Stampin' Up! Clear acrylic block and a Stampin' spritzer. These are from Stampin' Up! They come in a handy dandy little 2-pack of Stampin' spritzers, and you can fill them with water or alcohol or re-inker or shimmer or whatever you'd like. We're just using water in our spritzer today. And then you're going to need the watercolor paper, and then I used combinations of 3 different colors of ink. So on the cards that have the blue and the green, I used Mossy Meadow, Pool Party, and Lost Lagoon. And then on the cards that have the yellow and orange, I used Pumpkin Pie, Tangerine Tango, and Hello Honey. Now you might notice that a couple of those colors sound new. That's because Hello Honey and Mossy Meadow and Lost Lagoon are new in colors for this year. So what you want to do is pick 2 or 3 colors that go well together. I think I'll work with the yellow and orange today, but it works just the same no matter what color scheme you're doing. And you use your clear block. You just want something that is going to be able to cover your paper, and I'll show you how I covered the paper even though the block is a little bit smaller. So you get your ink pads open, and direct to the acrylic block, you just smush your ink pad on there. So that was Hello Honey. Then I'm going with my medium one, which is, oh, excuse me, it's Tangelo Twist. It's not Tangerine Tango. So that's another new in color. And then Pumpkin Pie. Ha! This almost looks like a candy corn, doesn't it? That's pretty funny. Didn't think about that. And then what you're going to do is take your Stampin' spritzer with your water, and you're going to spritz it right onto the block. The more water you spritz, the mushier and softer and more flowing you'll get your color. And you can just lay it down, or you can actually push. Okay, and you just want to make sure that all that water is absorbing into that paper. And then when you lift it up, you're going to get these fun different patterns of ink. But as that dries, that's going to blend, and you're not really going to see those lines so much anymore, but you'll see a little bit of that. And then I didn't even dry it off. You probably could. I don't think it really hurts either way. I just put ink right back on top of it for a second time. And I spritzed again. And then I just matched it in the middle, and I went ahead and laid it down. I overlapped it a little bit, gave it a little push. And you notice you want to do this on some scratch paper because it sprays a little bit. And if you're worried about getting your fingers inky, then you might want to wear some gloves. I didn't worry about that. I just figure that's the sign of a true crafter. And so there you go. And as that dries, you're going to get that beautiful look of all the different colors that blend together. So again, here is the background of that one. And you can see the color didn't quite go to the edges, but I thought that was kind of cool. I actually liked how that turned out. Every one of them is going to be different. And let me show you this cool trick when you add salt to this. This is just our rock salt salt grinder that I swiped from our kitchen, and I put it onto the coarsest setting, and I'm just going to put some salt on here. And this is another thing that my dad does on a lot of his paintings, and it adds really neat texture. So you let that dry completely, and then you're going to wipe off the salt. And what happens is that salt will absorb some of the color and take the color with it, and you'll get some speckling on there. And let me show you a sample of some of that speckling. You can see on this card those dots and speckles and kind of those irregular patterns. That happened with the salt. So when you wipe off the salt, that's the look that you're going to get. So that's just kind of a different fun fold card, isn't it, that I came up with for that one. So I actually have one that has already dried. This one has the salt on it. Let's see if you can see the salt. So that one still has the salt on it, and I'm ready to wipe it off, and then we'll see what this one looks like after the salt gets wiped off. So I'm just going to do that over here off camera into the garbage can. You'll probably hear that. Okay, I just used a paper towel and wiped off the salt, and then you get these wonderful patterns. Isn't that pretty? That's going to make a really neat, maybe a sea, ocean looking card. I think I'll use something with an ocean theme on that one. Maybe if I turn it this way, it kind of almost looks like a hillside with the ocean or the sky in the background. This one's going to be great. I can't wait to stamp on this one. So that's just some really fun tips for you. You can use any size acrylic block, any colors of ink you want, and remember, the more water you spritz on there, the softer and mushier and more the colors are going to flow. Let me just show you my samples one more time, and then I'll show you some of my dad's great paintings. So this one is using the Open Sea stamp set, and that's my piece of watercolor paper. And this is with Serene Silhouettes and the gold striped vellum foil paper. And it's on top of Daffodil Delight, so that's what's underneath there. So that's coming through a little bit. And again, like I said, that one, the color didn't go quite to the edge, but I think it looks really neat. And this one, same thing. The color didn't get quite to that edge, but I like it. I really think that's pretty how that came together like that. And then this one, I just cut up the strip into 3 pieces. And I thought that added a little extra pizzazz. And this is Lovely as a Tree. This is a stamp set that our CEO, Shelley Gardner, has said will never retire. So that'll be fun to know that we can use this forever. This is another image from Lovely as a Tree. And then another one from Serene Silhouettes. And you just have those beautiful blending of colors there, and I did a floral background, just random stamping. So let me show you a few of the paintings that my dad has done with some of these great techniques with the salt, and sometimes he adds rice paper as a collage layer. So that's what you're seeing in some of these great paintings. And you can see where I have been inspired all my life to use color and vibrant patterns and all different just get inspired by the beauty of nature, and it's been amazing to have this growing up and to be able to see these great paintings and see how my dad does these great works of art. So I hope you enjoy these. Thanks for joining me, and let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to leave a comment on my blog or on my YouTube channel. Have a great day.